Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Felix on Mars Director Roundtable. Here are our directors for the first series of short films for the Felix on Mars YouTube channel and production company. Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves.
I'm Elizabeth Brittell. I'm writer-director of Midge and Nancy. It's a screwball comedy about high school senior Nancy gaining independence from her mom.
Hi, my name's Dyllan. I directed The Last Goodbye. It's about two estranged siblings who are forced to interact after the passing of their younger brother. And I did There's Evil Here, and it's about a man who pretty much hides in an abandoned building from a creature he believes is after him.
Hi, I'm Brendan Leyva. I directed Farewell. It's about a wife that has to make a tough decision as the world her world figuratively and literally is about to end.
I'm Dean Smith. I'm the director of Ragdoll, a story about a writer whose the love of his life leaves him and he has to make a Faustian bargain to get her back. And we are the directors of Felix on Mars, everybody. It took a long time to get here, to get started, to hit record on the episode.
That's why you rent out, 2 hours of studio time.
Exactly. But to open this up, I want to ask everybody here, because we are all making short films and we all want to go on to make features eventually. But I'm curious, what to you makes a good short film or a great short film? Liz, do you have any thoughts?
I guess at the end of it, did you really like it? Did you enjoy yourself? Would you watch it again? Is there anything you're complaining about? If not, then yeah, a great film, great short film.
The entertainment value.
Yeah, entertainment value.
For me, I don't really know what makes like a good short film, to be honest with you, or like what um I guess if everything came together, if at the end of it you are feeling a little bit fulfilled, or like as the viewer you watch it and you're like, okay, yeah, I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Mm.
For me, it's just I think you need a good short film. You can feel. I think it's a feel.
Mhm.
Because there's some mood pieces where there's no real plot, but you come out leaving like, oh, that was good.
Mm.
So I think with short films particularly, it just depends on a feel.
Mhm.
You can have a solid plot, a beginning and an end, but it might not connect, but if you it's just like a distillation of whatever filmmaker is doing it. So
Okay.
that's how I feel it.
So it sounds like we all kind of come from a different idea of what makes a great short film, right?
Yeah.
Efficiency of storytelling, entertainment value, like that feeling of fulfillment at the end of it.
Yeah.
Are those feelings what drew you to make your own short films? When you were making Midge and Nancy, were
Yeah.
you like, I just want to make something entertaining? And when you were making Midge and Nancy and coming to that script, did you feel that's what you were getting out of it? Or did you find something a little bit deeper?
Well, when I wrote it, I definitely wanted to write something like I could show my niece or nephew and be like, I don't know, like, here's my little bit of life wisdom that I want to impart, but I also want to make you laugh and just have fun and be silly, basically.
You are kind of silly,
Yeah.
just a little silly.
A little bit.
You know.
For me, I don't really know. I made my films with like a specific goal in mind for each of them. I think when it comes to like stories, like The Last Goodbye, I wanted to make a little bit more like story focus, where it was two characters who are like having this like really really painful conversation that don't want to speak to each other but have to. And with There Is Evil Here, I wanted to explore a little bit. I wanted to explore myself a little bit more visually, and I wanted to be able to have the character kind of I don't know, going through it a little bit.
Mm.
I think I wanted that. I think that's what I looked for in those projects.
I noticed in There's Evil Here and in The Last Goodbye, they have this similar storytelling element of a woman coming in and confronting a man, and there's like an internal struggle between the two of them. Is that something that comes up a lot in the films you're looking for?
No, I think that's just me where I'm at currently. or at least like when I wrote that at that time. I think it mostly depends. It's not always like so straightforward. They're definitely like, it's funny that you talk about them having like same elements because I would consider them like twin films. When I make films, sometimes like I make them in like twos and threes where like there'll be like parallel factors with them, but like they'll be totally different stories. But like I think that's sometimes how I like to think about projects and make projects because also that just helps like if I wanted to put something here but like it doesn't really like fit that well, like I could go over here. But I like to explore myself with this one with There's Evil, it's a horror film, and then with The Last Goodbye it's a drama. So I just wanted to explore two different things, and if the themes seem to like, you know, pop up a little bit more and more, it's probably because they were written around the same time. So it makes sense that they share like DNA.
I see. And Brandon, you're actually unique among everyone at the table because your film Farewell, that's actually a script you didn't personally pen. So what drew you to that? What drew you to that kind of story?
It's like because when I was picking the film from the scripts, right?
Mhm.
It's just like moments I feel that I was drawn to, and that I felt like I can add with little notes here, little notes there. Um, I kind of feel like when I picked it,
Mhm.
I connected with the basic premise, and from there I kind of sat with it like, okay, if I want to shoot this, what do I want to change? What's my notes for the script? And then from there, it just kind of all right. Once I had it in my head, each each beat I wanted to do, that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna shoot Farewell.
I see, I see. So it's a thing where you were looking for a very like core premise or emotion, and that's kind of what latched onto it for you.
Yeah, I think with anything, like I had to connect with it. And with all of the scripts, that was the one I had a little spark with.
Mm.
Um, and then from there is like a meditation. Like I was courting the script essentially. Like me and the script were having flower side dates, sipping mai tais on a beach together. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna propose to the script now.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So
I had a similar experience when I was writing Ragdoll because Ragdoll took a long time to get to the state it was at
yeah,
because it was my vomit draft script where it's just like every new story idea or thought or whatever I would just pour it into the script with no intention of ever filming it, and it just kind of eventually formed into like it eventually formed to having like a structure and a narrative and things like that. And I was like, okay, maybe this is actually something worth working on, but it's also probably why at the end of it, it feels very disjointed and has a lot of like weird elements in it that don't
Mhm.
totally mesh because it started off as I
Uh,
just need to fill some pages with some ideas.
How different is the first draft? Do you outline?
I do now. For a long time I did it, and that's why Ragdoll versus the other scripts you guys have read are very different if you're reading them.
Well, I guess the question is like, how different is like Ragdoll from the final product?
The first draft of Ragdoll was 7 pages, and it got up to about 42 at the longest. And then the shooting draft we had was about 23, 24 pages.
Mhm.
So it went through a lot of changes. There was definitely a point where
it was wieldy.
it was very wieldy, very unwieldy.
So the question is, if it was there something in there that you want, was there ever anything in there that you wanted to make fit, but it just wasn't working? So you're like, oh fuck it, I gotta take it out.
Oh, yes, like a lot of stuff. A lot of the relationship stuff in Ragdoll, I wanted to be much longer. I wanted to have basically a whole like section where it would develop their relationship over the course of like a whole day, and you kind of see what their
It
status is as a
it
couple, and then it would fall
it
apart.
would turn it more from a horror into a romantic drama at that point.
Exactly. And that was the issue was I wanted to because I was
Keep the horror.
keep the horror elements in it. I
Yeah.
wanted to feel more like a Twilight Zone episode, and if I do that, I'm expanding it into areas that aren't the focus of the story but
And
resonated with me.
and in the format of a short film, you can't have the ABC plot like you would
Hmm.
within a feature
Mm.
because each each plot needs its time to, be created, metamorphosized, and then have a final product.
Yeah, the short film's power is the efficiency of the
The
storytelling.
A plot and with a small B plot.
Mm-hmm. I know with Midge and Nancy, you went through a couple of drafts on that before you eventually showed it to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, how did Midge and Nancy start versus how it eventually like showed up to the boardroom, I guess.
It wasn't like terribly different. Like I'm trying to think, and I don't remember what the original was. I think it was just I think Shelley's character changed the most. Um
Oh, the mother character,
the
correct?
mother, yeah, the mom character. Nancy kind of stayed the same. Midge, I think probably just stayed like as close to like the final output basically. Actually, Midge I think was more zany.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you kind of had like a pretty concrete idea of at least your like central character to
Yeah.
start with.
Mhm.
So Nancy didn't change all that much during the rewrites?
Not really. I think it was just situations that changed because of budget constraints and things like that. And I was like, I don't think I actually want to shoot that. I don't want to go through the trouble of it. Like I want to like minimize it. Like it is my first short film and it's like pushing 25 minutes. So I'm like, let me just cut some.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what was the one thing that like you had to like take out of the scripts?
That I really wanted to keep.
Yeah.
Some like specific shots, like camera work. There was like one part that I wanted where it was like, oh, like we're cutting from Shelley panicking over the phone about like the whereabouts of her daughter, and then we're cutting to it was going to be like this shot like ketchup and mustard, hash browns like raining down, and like kind of laying out this like butcher paper, like they're setting up to have these like morning after breakfast munchies basically. I even wanted to like have them drive and like go through like a drive through and like come back, but I was like not doing that.
The complications of independent filmmaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Dyllan, because you filmed Last Goodbye and There's Evil Here same year. I believe it was only what 6 months apart from each other.
Fuck no.
No.
We're looking at like
Yeah, 6
maybe
months.
no 9.
January and then July.
I didn't film in July.
Or was it late June?
Was it?
I
It
feel like
was in the summer.
Yeah.
I feel
Because
like
it was
like
106
it
in
was
that
August.
warehouse.
I thought it was more like August, September, to be
Mhm.
honest.
It might have been August.
End of August.
We run a professional ship here at Felix on Mars. We keep dates.
Yeah.
But that's still a thing where, I mean, for some people, that's a pretty tight turnaround considering you still had all the post-production to do for Last Goodbye. There was the festival runs you were going through with it, and then starting up a new project. And that's gotta be a strain, when you're picking new projects and wanting to make more content and things like that. And did budget ever cross your mind when you were building those projects?
Fuck yeah. I mean,
Just a really honest, fuck yeah, money matters, people.
hell yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is like I said, like I wrote them like I don't know if you guys know this, but like when I say that like I wrote them like around the same time, they were probably like days apart. Like they were made with the intention of being made one after the other. And because I had that intention, it made it easier to be like to not really look anywhere else, even though I window shopped elsewhere for sure. There was a bigger project that I wanted to do, but budget made that one a little less plausible
The
because
B word.
yeah. So because like it made that one less plausible, like I was able to put There's Evil back in and like be able to like just continue with my plan because the original intention behind it was pretty much it had been a while since I directed. I pretty much took a year off just so I could like focus on fighting for a little bit. And I just wanted to like dive in. And it was two projects where one I could, you know, work with actors that are a little bit more dialogue heavy, and then the second one would be more where I can focus a little bit more on like the visual aspect and like just learning how to like reintroducing myself with like tension and whatnot so that after I finish these two I can go on to like I could go back to like how I was feeling before I took my kind of like year hiatus.
I see. But I have a question for everybody at the table. You did all your pre-production. You actors are cast, crew set. It's the night before first day of shooting. Do you have a pre-shooting ritual? Are you popping on The Godfather right before to get hyped up? Are you what is your pre-shoot ritual? Liz?
I don't have one.
No,
No,
just
not
just
at
two
all.
bong rips and go to bed.
Yeah, basically. I do remember though, we had to move the production date. So like the night before I was like shitting bricks
Mhm.
and like very like anxious. And then the next day, there was like the call about the fires and the Palisades and things like that. And so we had to push it back. What was it? 2 weeks?
It might have
To
been
the end of
a
the
2 weeks,
The
yeah.
end of the month.
Yeah.
Once like we finally decided that, I went downstairs and played Cult of the Lamb for like 6 hours. I was like,
That's gotta be stressful, right? Because you already have the nerves. You're gonna go shooting. There's a bunch of people relying on you, and then
yeah.
Los Angeles gets lit on fire.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with that? Was it just, you know what, life is what it is, gonna go play some video games
Yeah,
situation?
absolutely. It's sort of like I just had a lot of anxiety and like tension like leading up to it. And then when we like decided to move it, it was like a big like relief. I was like, oh, thank God. Like I don't have to worry about this yet. But it all worked out. It was definitely like safety first. Like I don't want anyone trying to risk anything or go out of their way to get down to my house and like film this thing for like not that much. I'm like, this film is not that important. So
Did you think like the fires and the moving of the dates that it helped put everything kind of in perspective and make things a little bit easier on the shoot?
yeah, absolutely. I was definitely way more relaxed uh when we changed it. Like especially like going in, I was like, okay. As soon as like Alex showed up, I'm like, okay, I'm fine.
Alex
We're
has that
good.
effect on
It
people.
Yeah.
I think moving the shoot also helped because like there were a lot of like schedules that started to conflict as well. So like once like the shoot got pushed, like everything like just kind of like re-clicked like
Yeah.
how it was supposed to. So like yeah, that's one thing I
Yeah.
thought that worked out.
Fuck yeah.
Dyllan, do you have a pre-shoot ritual? Because this was something you wanted to ask everybody.
Mm.
I think it's dependent on the film. I always try to like get in the zone. So maybe like um I'll watch um similar films like The Influences just so I can kind of like get my head in the game. I'll go watch scenes that definitely like influenced how I was feeling when I was writing it. I might listen to like the same songs that I was listening to when I was like coming up with like the concepts. Another big thing that I do, and I even do this like when I'm on the way driving, is that like, and it's always different. There are interviews that I'll listen to. So like, and it's always like a director talking about like going through a film. When I did There Is Evil Here, the film, I think the director was Tarantino on Charlie Rose, and I think he was talking about Jackie Brown. So that interview I was listening to, like tone wise, it's like fucking totally different, but like it was just how well he described things, and like that allowed me to like I don't know, put my game face on and just kind of like prepare for like going in there for the shoot because I like to get in the mood and like I'm already there, and it's always helps to like have somebody who's been there, done that, talk about their experience because it's just about learning at that point.
Mhm. Brandon?
I don't really have one. For me, the pre-production time is the pre-ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's the time I, meditated. If I'm watching anything, it's usually just, throw it on and kind of, but by the time I'm there, it's kind of already, I've seen it in my head,
Mm.
and the only thing I think about is, okay, if I got to cut something for time constraints, what can I do to, um, find a way of melding that with something else?
Mm.
Um, it's just about, I take my time to kind of pre-production is my pre-ritual. So there isn't like a pre-night thing, get up and boom. Maybe, maybe I just hit the gym a little harder that morning. I go ahead.
Got to get that pump on.
Usually, squats. I hit squats that morning, Throw it's like there's a metaphor there. Throw the weight of the world right there on the shoulders.
Mhm.
You pump out 15, 20 reps of 225, go on with the day.
Nice.
I feel so fat right now. I'm like 225. I'm like I'm heavier than that. Oh Lord. But no, I think I'm in the same camp as you. I don't think I have a ritual so much as just the pre-production time is just so invaluable.
Mhm.
Just talking to everybody, making sure everything's set up. The best feeling before a shoot is just abject boredom. Just I gotta go shoot this thing tomorrow. It's like I already have the storyboards, the actors are rehearsed. I just want to get this over with. Can't I just get to the edit already? I can't believe I have to do it. That is the best feeling when there's just no stress, no bullshit. I just lay out my clothes for the next day and just it's a walk-in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for me, it's like I meditate on each project, from the beginning to the end of pre-production. I kind of meditate. I sit on it, to a level where like I get consumed, where it consumes each thought when I'm not actively thinking of something else.
Mhm.
So by the time I get to the day of production,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, like even in pre-production, I'm thinking about pre-production problems that might show up. And then how do I, before they even pop up, what's my ABC? Where am I turning on that fork?
Mhm.
So when we get to production time, it's like, okay, I'm here. I put everyone in their places. I'm the I'm that, watchmaker. Everything's there, and then let me start it, and everything should
Mhm.
Just fall into place.
fall into place.
The best feeling when a plan comes together. But talking about a plan coming together. You're on set. It's the first day of shooting. You've talked to everybody. You're starting to direct. You're getting a couple scenes in. How do you think you would describe yourself as a director? Are you like really communicative with actors? Are you a little bit more reserved? Do you sit in like Video Village? You're really focused on composition? Like, how would you describe your directing style?
I don't know. You wanna? Someone else wanna go?
Brandon?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. I meditate on every
Yeah.
film. I hone in like a
No,
fine sword.
no, it's just it's currently it's very much just getting when it comes to so communicating with crew. That's the first thing.
Hmm.
Make sure when I'm on set, my DP knows. When Liz is my set dresser, let her know. Get all those situated first, and then get with the actors and actresses. Because I feel like if I can get all the moving pieces that aren't in front of the camera situated, then there's more time to really talk with the main piece,
Hmm.
the show pieces, the actor and actress.
Mm.
And from there, I've been fortunate with Farewell. There were two actors and an actor and actress, May and Jose, that kind of already got the feel from the script read naturally of what direction I wanted. So from there, it's just all right. What are we gonna do? Um, like the opening of Farewell, May is sitting there, and so from the first take, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, we're gonna sit on this more. And I after that first take, I let her know, hey, we're gonna sit with it a little longer. So just let it breathe before you make your move.
Mhm.
For I have a question for
Yeah.
you. When you like are first talking to the actors, do you have them do run throughs?
Um, when I first talk with them, like on set,
Yeah, like when you're like setting up for like the scene and like when you're getting ready to shoot, like do you have them run through it?
I'll run through it once or twice.
What do you look for?
So what I'm looking for is usually the a spark of chemistry between them. That's the first thing, especially when it's two actors
Mhm.
and actor. I'm looking for their connection. Um, because if there's a connection, then it's a lot easier to build on that scene. The second thing is making sure that we're on the all of us are linked up on the direction of the scene, the character's purpose, and the emotion I want. And that's just from the first one or two like walkthroughs, and then from there I kind of just by the second one I'll let them know, hey, this is what I want, this is why, and if they already have that direction, I just kind of reinforce it.
Do
Mhm.
you feel like there's a length of time that you like try to like allocate to do that, or do you just kind of let it do its thing and then like once you guys hit the mark, you just feel it and move on?
Um, if it's something where I know there's a crunch time, I'll try to push it immediately. Like, this is what we're going for. But if it's a scene where I know we have time to shoot, and it's it's not something that is going to become a crutch later, where we spent so much time here, now the actor's worn out. So it's kind of a feel, right? It's a feeling. Like, I got to feel out if I've pushed the actor too far at this point and they still have another heavy scene later, then I got to, kind of take a step back, and this is where we're pushing it. Because if I need them to push it further next scene and I've burnt them out emotionally, then that kind of destroys my future plans. So I just try to, like, managing, like you manage a player or a fighter. Hey, this round we're going to take it at this pace, this round. And if we're going for a full 12-round fight, I want to make sure they don't burn out.
I mean, that's the thing with dealing with so many actors and actresses and just people who have to be in front of a camera, that I don't think a lot of people get, is the goal of a director should be letting your actors know you're not going to embarrass them, so that
Yeah.
they could just open up emotionally. They feel comfortable on camera. They can, like, cry. They can try stuff. And
Yeah.
it's the core foundation of a director is communicating with the actors, getting them comfortable, because once they're burned out or you've betrayed their trust or
Yeah.
whatever, even if it's like not serious, but it's like, oh, we went through this and you're just like, that was kind of shit. Let's just go again. That closes them off a little
Yeah.
bit, and then it makes it harder down the road when you're trying for the next scene and the next scene and the close-ups, and it's just, it feels off, and it's probably because there was something you might have said or the communication was off somewhere, and they're just burned out. They're done.
I think it's also who you choose, right? As a director, when you're casting, sometimes you choose a more inexperienced actor because you think you can draw out. You see something in them that you think you'll be able to draw out.
A natural ability or a natural characterization.
And then sometimes if it's like, with Farewell, we're going to go in very surgical. So I casted for, all right, do they already get the direction based off of their self-tape, right? It was a lot easier to pick because the ones that got the direction, like Jose and May, it was like, all right, boom. This is going to be, now you guys know the general direction. Now I just got to give you the map. But that's the risk you take as a director, right? If you, like, say Dyllan cast someone a little more inexperienced, but in their demo reel or self-tape, he sees, okay, I think I see something there that I can pull out. You're going to spend more time, and you're really going to you're betting on yourself. So for me, it's like, film by film and time. If I have the time and, I see a raw piece of marble, I might try it, like, if I have the time. So,
I mean, Dyllan, you are an advocate for casting. We've worked on a couple of films, and you will take as long as possible to get, like, the perfect cast for your film. Does that translate a lot when you're directing on set to help communication, or is it something where so much of the work's done in casting, when you're on set, you feel like the actors can play around a little bit on their own? Like, how do you
Hell yeah.
describe it?
I think for me, it definitely plays, like, I think it's one of the most important roles, and I think it's something that, like, everybody fucking overlooks. And I had to learn that lesson. I learned it the hard way. I think I made a film called Deep Inside the Empty Feeling, and then, like, I think, like, when I casted it, like, the dude, his name is Ramiro.
oh yeah.
I think I think he's a phenomenal actor, but I did learn that, like, that role was a little bit more like, I don't think that role was meant for him. So he did the best with what he could. And then whenever every time I watch it back, I'm like, I think watching that film made me, like, go, okay, I need to be a little bit more mindful about, like, when I'm going into casting. So, like, I've had projects after where, like, I just put more of an emphasis on it. And when I mean that, like, I'll take as much time in casting as possible. And, like, as, like, when I was, like, shooting Partisans, fucking, like, we didn't have the lead till like the week before
Yeah, week
shooting.
before the shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was just like I
Everyone was scheduled but the lead.
yeah, so it was hectic. So it was just kind of like, sometimes you do have to just kind of like wait, be patient, and the right person will come. And like, it's so funny. Jose actually wasn't casted either. So they happened actually one after the other. So it was just kind of like, I don't know. I being patient has all the rewards sometimes. And I think that's kind of like one of like, I don't know. It makes it to where when you get to like when you meet the actors before you even get to shooting, you get a chance to like vibe with them, and then that kind of like dictates how you guys are gonna be on set. Because like if we start talking and then like we're obviously joking and then like the vibe is right, then like by the time we get to shooting, like there's more of like there's more of a conversation. When we did Partisans, Desmond, we had like formed a like kind of like a relationship enough to where like we were comfortable with each other, just kind of like cursing casually.
Oh,
And
boy, was that.
he came to me and told me that he didn't agree with how this scene was going. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "I don't think this works." And he told me why. And then me and him just had a back and forth, and then we found a new direction for the film for that scene, and it worked so much better. And then like that foundation that was built there leads right into like The Last Goodbye, because Justice
Hmm.
is in The Last Goodbye. And like I trusted him enough to kind of like like call him on a like super short notice, and bro just fucking delivered, like because we were just like because both Angela and him, like I had already worked with them. Like I don't know, the comfortability was already there, so like we were just able to like we didn't have that like new awkwardness
Mm.
that you get when you're like meeting an actor. Like we could just
Yeah,
shoot the shit and like get straight to it.
because there is a benefit to a familiarity.
Oh
Because
yeah.
there isn't especially on a short, right? You don't have much time with the actors or actress.
It's why I cast the way I did on Ragdoll. I wanted to work with actors I worked with before because I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with making new friends. Fuck that.
But
I'm
there's a
lazy.
drawback to that, because
Mhm.
aesthetically they might not fit.
Yeah.
You you
You have to start building around them a little
Yeah.
bit more.
but there's the benefit. You don't have to spend that time of learning how to talk to that person, because each actor and actress responds differently to direction.
Mm.
Some of them want it more casually.
Mhm.
Some of them want it more like broken down. This is what I want. This is the emotion you're feeling, beat by beat by beat.
Mhm.
And so that's something you learn. And on a feature, you have that time to learn.
Mhm.
Preferably, you also had like pre-production reads. On a short, you might not get the read. You might get a Zoom call. You might get a one-time in-person thing where we just
Literally the day you are casting them at a reading,
Yeah.
that's the most you see them before the shoot.
and if you have a feeling you're going to cast them anyway at that casting time, you ask them questions. What do you think about the script? Blah blah blah. Direction. So working with people, like the roster Dylan's built up, it makes it easier just to hop in.
Mhm.
It's a different car, but has some familiarity to it. The seats feel the same.
How's that for you, Liz? Because like this was like your like first film
Mhm.
like ever. So like what was casting like for you?
It was okay. I think I was just more worried. Like, when I wrote the script, I already had Midge, Liz, in mind. Midge was like based on a lot of like her personality.
Mhm.
Um, and then when we were filming There Is Evil Here, that's where I met Janelle, and I was like, like hearing her conversations and like shooting the shit, and then hearing about like her life. I suddenly realized like, oh, like you're like in my mind, like you're a perfect fit for this character, and you seem like you would go really well
You
with
can
Liz.
connect to it
Mhm.
easily.
Yeah, like she had like the personal experience and things like that, and I was just like, damn, okay, like this could work out. Like hopefully everyone says yes.
Yes.
And then Shelly, Rachel, was just like a random thing on like backstage,
Yeah.
and Good.
It's funny because we almost casted Rachel
Yeah.
for Farewell.
Yeah. I would love to work with her again because I felt like she was just so solid. She like not only nailed Shelly, but she also nailed Midge. And I was like, you were so close, but
Just
like no, yeah.
taking that
Yeah.
from the person you wrote it for.
I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, damn, like she really nailed that character. And I was like, is that just like, coming from like the writing, like was the writing really clear on that, or was it like her like
she
going
felt
into it?
she knew the direction of the
Yeah.
character just based off of what
Yeah.
side you gave her.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to talk to her about that? Like, or like,
A little bit, like, just like in passing, but I was like, yeah, you were like really close to like how Midge was and like what I really wanted. But you like really slipped into Shelly there. She's like, I know it. She's like, I know I did. Like, she's like, I felt it when I did the self tape, and I was like, damn it. Like, yeah, she was like, she was aware like she was gonna get the part of Shelly over Midge because she's like, this came so naturally to me. I know I'm gonna get it. And it's like, yeah, you did.
how do you feel like you connected with your actors?
Um, I guess like I don't know about like connecting. Like we definitely like got along. I knew Liz before the production. I took improv classes from her for like a couple like months. Um but everyone's just been like cordial and like nice and like friendly, easy to work with, kind of like fast friends. Like Liz and Janelle became like really close really quickly, so that was really cool. And yeah, like everyone's just been like pleasant to work with. So it was like no fighting, no argument. I'm like, even like asking them, I was like, do you guys want to like improv or play? And they're like, yeah, like let's do this. Like they're excited. So
That's the best feeling when an actor gets really into the role. Because I know when I was doing Ragdoll, every other scene, Jack was like, "Hey, is it okay if we like try something here? I got like a feeling, you know,
mhm,
because Jack is a very like studied actor,
mhm,
and I'm not gonna lie, some of that, the improvs he did, even he would admit was like, okay, maybe we'll go back to how it's written. Maybe that wasn't right, but it's still so nice when somebody gets into the work and into the material that
mhm,
they're like, can I play around with this? Can I just see what I can do with this?
yeah,
Because it just feels good as a director being like, oh, okay, I have a collaborator working with me, not just somebody I hired to say the words. It
mhm,
just feels good.
mhm,
But I do have a question for everybody. When you're filming, things go wrong. Sometimes things go terribly wrong. What do you think was the biggest obstacle when you were making your short films, and how did you overcome them? Because I know
mhm,
you had the fires. Was that the biggest thing
mhm.
that really slowed down production for you or really hurt you kind
Yeah.
of thing?
It definitely slowed it down. I don't think it hurt it. I think everything like fell into place. There was the HOA guy getting
Uh,
upset. Like I should have like left a note and like told my neighbors. I was like, we're gonna be inside. Like we're not gonna be bothering
it's not
anyone.
like there's gonna be 12 cars lying around
Yeah.
my house.
Yeah.
Who knew that everyone would have just thought to decide to park inside instead of parking outside, like
Okay.
was clearly stated in some of the group chat made.
And it was
It
like
was on the call sheets, maybe.
it wasn't even like that many cars. It was like 4 cars, and the guy was like, I want 2 spaces. I want you to pull the work van into the garage, close the garage. And it was like it was hardly sticking out. But anyways, that was the biggest thing. Other than that, I was very flexible and just like, oh, like we don't have this prop, use something else. Like I think was it makeup? They forgot like the spray bottle for the sweat. I'm like, do something else. Like make it work. Like I don't care. It's just decoration.
Told Pauline, do your job.
You got this, champ. What, Dylan? What was the biggest obstacle? Was it the 102-degree warehouse? Was it the parking tickets? What was the obstacle?
You know, Dylan, I was thinking about you while I was in Vegas while you were shooting that.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the lazy river having a margarita. I said, I hope my man's is doing well.
I was loving it. Everybody else was suffering. I'm like a lizard, bro. I was just loving the heat. I was like, yeah, they're saying it's hot. I don't feel it, but like,
This
let's
is how
not
you-
go off of my scale.
This is how you know Dylan's from like the heart of Texas. He's like 102. Man, this is like winter weather over here, man.
I
Oh.
was feeling the breeze, man. I was feeling nice. But for me, they both had like very different problems. I think the last goodbye, the biggest obstacle was just like fucking time. I think because I was so eager to like get back to it, like there was a time pressure that was like put on the last goodbye. So like, you know, the actors didn't have as much prep time as needed. They still delivered, and like even like in the post side, like when it came to like cutting it, like I ended up having a fight not long after, so I pretty much had to wait until after to like fucking get the cut in. But like, yeah, time was the biggest pressure for that one, and then for There Is Evil Here, I think the biggest thing was just kind of like, I think not having enough time with the actors. I really wish I had more time. I think more time would have helped iron everything out, because it's There's Evil Here was just extremely different from like how I like to work, because I enjoy like conversating with the actor and talking to them about like the film, the project, the characters, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Janelle was fucking out of country
Mm-hmm.
like when she got casted, and like wasn't able to do the table read until almost like fucking
It was like almost like the day before, or like 2 or 3 days before, wasn't it?
2 or 3 probably be right, but like it's just
The
kind
week
of
of shooting.
Yeah.
so
First table read, first meeting your actors, like 2 days before shooting.
so it's just kind of like it was it making that one was the biggest obstacle was just not having like the opportunity to like sit down and like kind of like get to know them and like form like at least like a form of bond that I like to do, that I had been able to do with other projects, that does work for like me and my style a little bit more. But yeah.
Brandon, any big obstacles?
You know, my shoot was the first shoot where we kind of lost a little access of some of our
Mhm.
luxuries. We our lighting house hookup no longer can hook us up.
Locations were very difficult.
Location was shaky on this one. It was very odd. And those are the biggest obstacles. But for me, the location thing's not a big deal. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an inconvenience, especially for Liz who set dresses, because now we're gonna need more things.
Mhm.
You know, you made the little
Oh, cyanotypes.
cyanotypes to help decorate the wall. We didn't have access to walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
So for Thomas, he was kind of handicapped, but
Because you're walking in on a blind set.
yeah, I was walking in, but you know, you kind of like, you know, me, Dean, I kind of have the shot in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter where the only thing that'll suck is how it's dressed, but for me, I know the shot.
Mhm.
You know, even from like our earliest film, Recollection, I wasn't there for the scene because I had class,
Mm.
but my director's notes for the McFloyd office scene.
Oh, you are detail oriented when you go into like your shot listing and your storyboards.
So there's a look I want in my head.
Mhm.
I'm bad at conveying it. That's why I never have a lookbook.
Mhm.
But I can see it in my head, and from there, it's just when we get on set, you guys got to trust me. I see it. Whenever interrogation is scene,
Mhm.
from the start, I wanted that room to be in limbo. You know. Howdy, fellers.
People are
I'm trying to get the
comprehensive.
eye contact so I could wink at him. You just
So yeah, for me, those inconveniences, the lighting thing was,
Mhm.
but the place we got ended up getting by Jack. The natural lighting fit the look that me and Thomas kind of had in mind.
Mhm.
I picked Thomas specifically because I wanted it shot by someone that would know, that preferred natural lighting.
Mhm.
It's not something I wanted dramatic lighting for. So
Mhm.
it worked out well, but that would be our main inconvenience. I mean, we didn't have time. We had plenty of time.
Mhm.
People were well fed.
Very well.
People were glazing the chef. That was crazy, the amount of glaze they were giving to the chef.
That pizza was good. All right.
Mhm.
Dante don't need the glaze.
Dean.
Huh? Oh, probably the biggest obstacle I had was honestly, it think it really just came down to that last weekend of shooting out of the studio, because there was some paperwork issues that came up that
Sure.
Not through our end.
not through our end. There were some things that were made aware to us like days before
I believe
shooting.
insurance would call that an act of God.
Yes. Yeah. that was probably the biggest thing because we're getting ready. It's the last week of shooting, where it's the last scene. It's the capstone. It's how I've like envisioned the end of this for so long. And it's like, finally, I have it all set up. It's gonna be perfect, in and out in like a few hours. Awesome. And I get a phone call and they're like, you need to give us a lot more money because somebody didn't tell you that, hey, you're supposed to have like a lot more paperwork, a lot more insurance, a lot more this, a lot more that. And I'm like, dog, I did a walkthrough in there a month ago. I shook hands with the owner. No one told me this. And that turned into a phone call chain with Dyllan, the producer, and then to Kevin to get paperwork and sending emails. And it was fun. It was fun.
No, it was not.
It was not.
I think what made it worse was it was kind of like that day in the pre-production was kind of saying like this should be the easy day.
Exactly.
Go in, it's already ready. We just set up and go.
It's a 1 day. It was like a half-day shoot, and it was like the lighting's already set up, the set's already built. We just have to come in, and an hour of decoration, set the cameras up. We're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But then the phone call happens. I know that was probably one of the worst days on Ragdoll for you.
Yeah, I'd say so. Because overall, the production was just like relatively smooth. I think like because we had like the most amount of like prep time, and we just were able to just keep like coming through it and coming through it and coming through it and making sure that everything was fine. And then like when we got there, it was just kind of like it was like, bro, like we had done like such a good job of like making sure that we were ahead of everything. And that's something that like we like to do with like all these productions is like we just try to make sure like we try to bring all the problems to the front like as early as possible so that we can like keep knocking them down. And like if it was an issue, like it wasn't like that if they had brought this information to us earlier, we couldn't like have taken care of it because we could have.
It would
was
have been done already.
Yeah,
We had insurance on everything. We had all the paperwork set up. It was like, oh, this is like an extra phone call and we extend this. It's whatever.
Yeah. Then the fact that it was just kind of like so sudden and like, it was just like surprise bitch. It was just like, bro, come on, bro.
Slap in the face.
I was under the assumption I'd come in with 300 cash, hand it to you, and we're good. But
It was just a deposit.
it was just a deposit.
Yeah.
But did anything surprise you on set? Any happy accidents? We talked about the bad times. What were the things that showed up on set that made you like, oh, movies are fun to make? I didn't know.
Oh, Midge and Nancy. All the improv scenes, like the montage scene. That was my absolute favorite. Happy accidents, just the things coming out of their mouths, and like even the ornament shot, like just them improving like their own conversation, and then something Liz said like that came out. I was just like, oh, that's really good. Like I didn't have anything planned emotionally for this, or like something that she said added a nice little like plot point detail. I was like, oh, that's good. It didn't make it in the final cut, so
You're like, I loved it so much, but I couldn't let the others see it.
I know, I couldn't add it.
Dyllan, any happy accidents? Brandon, any happy accidents?
Devoid of happiness.
No, that's not it. I was just trying to think if like there were any like happy accidents. I think for the most part, I think I don't think there were any. Oh, I think I guess this works. For The Last Goodbye, how I originally envisioned us shooting, the direction of it fucking altered as we got there to the fucking location. I was like, ah, fuck, I really wanted it to where they were kind of more outside of the tunnel, but we had to kind of dip them in a little bit more and face them like a little bit more towards each other. And like it made for a really cool shot. Like it's like it's one of like the scenes where like she finally like goes up to him and they're like standing across from each other. Like that shot looks really fucking cool. So I think that was one happy accident that happened. And on There's Evil here, kind of the same thing. I wanted it to be actually flipped the other way, and then it kind of looked a little bit too tight, so we like just went ahead and we flipped the whole world. So yeah, no.
That feeling when you show up on set and you're like, you know what? Let's just fuck this shot list and do something totally different.
Hell no, the shot list was still the same, but everything was just kind of like flipped.
Brandon, any happy accidents?
Yeah, the location, because it kind of gave us a the ability to do things with camera movement that we wouldn't have at like the original two spots.
Mm.
The openness of the bathroom allowed us to put a full, slider in there and full Dana Dolly.
Yes,
not
you,
slider.
you got this.
Yes. And with how wide it was, it still allowed us not just to do the pullback we wanted, the Godfather like pullback. But it gave us the ability to have the actress do some blocking, get up, go to the bath, go to the sink, wash your face off. We see all that because of the location we had. Because if we shot in any other location, we weren't going to get a bathroom that wide to shoot in. Same thing with the kitchen, right? We weren't going to get a kitchen that wide with that kind of breakfast bar that allowed us to play out the whole scene from one long Dana Dolly shot, So that's a happy accident.
I had something similar. Like you talked about location, like the bathroom scene. You had like more space in your bathroom. I had significantly less space.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, we were all like crammed in there. But I liked how you pivoted where you shot off the mirror. I think it also really helped with the story too, with like specifically that scene, like Midge is like piercing her lip with a safety pin.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we had done it like straight on, that would have been like too much. But
oh, believe me,
yeah,
I've been using mirror shots since college.
Yeah. My only wish was that I cleaned the mirror a little bit better. Yeah.
You say that, but I love that part of the montage. I love the montage in Midge and Nancy when you get to her piercing the lips. I think it plays into it where the mirror is a little, dirty or whatever. It kind of adds to that comedy of it, of this being them being a little wacky. It's funny. I like it.
That's like my absolute favorite like sequence, like right from like Midge like turns to Nancy and like is like, oh, let me tell you like what we got in store, and then it goes straight into it. Like every scene, like Liz just like killed it, and then Janelle too. They work so well together with that.
Oh. Yeah, I know for Ragdoll, the only part of that entire film that I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, was the reveal of the transformation of the doll into like Angela.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is gonna be a cheap fucking effect and it's just not gonna work, but it's the only way I can get out of this fucking scene, whatever. And then after we shoot it and I showed everybody, everyone's like, oh, that's the best part of the movie. That's the only part of the movie that actually works. And I was like, oh, holy shit, we did it, boys. Holy shit. That spooked worked. Holy fuck. Yeah, it is interesting when, you're shooting a film and you're like, this is the only way I can get out of this scene. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it'll get me going. And then people see your cut, see your edit, and they're like, oh no, that's the best part. Oh, that's the part of the movie that resonates or works or hits. And I'm like, I don't fucking see how, but okay, it's good to know. But with that, when you're wrapped with filming, you've seen the first cut of the movie. I see the first cut of Ragdoll. It's a little different than what I started with. Does that happen to you? Like, when you see the first cut of the movie, is it the same as you had it in your head? Is it totally different? Are you surprised with what the editor finds in it that you might not have seen it as the director? What's your feeling seeing the first cut of the movie?
Jesus Christ.
What did I do with my life?
Yeah. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, I guess it's the thing, any creative piece, you're like, you got to get it to a certain point and it looks like shit and it looks messy and it's like, oh my God, like, how am I going to get out of this and like fix all this? But as you go through, it's like, all right, cool. With Midge and Nancy, it was just like, I felt like I nailed like the bulk of it. It became a lot of trimming, basically. And then when it came to like the montage, it was like how the fuck do I do this? Like, cause it changed from like what the script was. Like Midge was like listing off all the things that they were gonna do, and it wasn't working. So like I just had to I just prayed a little bit and I was like, I need help with this. Like, please let this turn out really good. And it did. I took out Midge listing off all the things and went straight into it and just like rapid cut.
Do you find that happens where you have a lot more content than you thought was going to be in there when you shot the film?
Uh,
Like, I guess my question is, how much do you think you actually trimmed out from like the full cut down to what you kind of have now?
ooh, it was quite a bit of like filler stuff. Also like pauses. There was like some areas where actually like I sped up the dialogue just a hair.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and things that like didn't need to be there. I think first started focusing too much like on Midge, and I was like, actually, I need to push the other way and get more like Nancy shots in there. And yeah, what else? I had a thought and I lost it. No,
It happens to the best of us.
it'll come back.
Dyllan.
Shit, bro. When that happens,
That's his reaction to the first cut.
He's like, "Fuck."
yeah, well, that's not my reaction. It's usually just like a lot more like
A lot more swearing, a lot more "What the fuck did you do to my movie?"
I just feel I feel dead inside for a little bit, man. It's like it's never like of it's never anything to the editor, because even when I do that, it's like sometimes like it's across the board. I see the first cut and I'm just like, fuck.
How much did I spend on this?
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck.
I don't even think about that. I just think about like I just sometimes I feel like a little in therapy, they teach you how to reframe.
Mhm.
So you just gotta reframe it a little bit. You gotta keep reframing, and then like you just do it once, and then you're like you're still upset, like seething, and then you reframe again, and then it gets a little bit better, and then you
Mhm.
reframe one more time, and then by that point you can send in notes.
It's a long therapeutic process to get notes, I see.
Mhm.
Nah, I mean, and at the first one, yeah, like, cause there's just so much that goes through my head, and then like, if I'm feeling like defeated, I'm feeling like, what did I do wrong, or like, how much did I not communicate? Like, I just feel like I failed. It's not like a failure of the editor. It's just, did I not communicate properly? And if I didn't, then like, yeah, no, that first one, fuck.
I remember my thought. It was looking at the footage and trying to make the cut and realizing like, I should have done like one more take, one or two more takes. I should have done this or that. Not gonna happen again, but yeah, I definitely felt like I needed more footage, more takes on some things.
I have the same feeling when I did the first cut of Ragdoll. I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm so proud of this. Fuck, I wish I had like 2 or 3 more takes of everything. Man, maybe coverage isn't the devil. Maybe I could have done a little bit more coverage. And then, I crawl up into a bottle for about a week and I'm like, okay, time for cut 2. Okay,
Hell
cool,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Once you need to drink away the feelings of that first cut,
Oh my
and
god.
then you can go back to it with like hungover eyes and you're like, okay, I've gotten the emotions out. Now I can like kind of mold it together.
I have to say, I think I waited 2 or 3 weeks before I actually put the footage together in like Premiere. Like, didn't
Sometimes,
even like check it, like
Mhm.
that it was all there.
sometimes that's kind of like the most healthiest thing that you could do.
Yeah.
Sean, I think I was listening to a roundtable, and I want to believe that it was Sean Baker, but it was one of the people who were like directors nominated for like an Academy Award last year,
Mhm.
and or like had films up, and they were talking about how like one of them was talking about how they wait so long before they even touch the footage. That way, like reshooting is impossible.
Mhm.
That way they just back themselves into a corner. And I was like, that's fucking insane. But like,
I feel that a little. I
Oh,
was like, I think you gave me a note. They're like, we could reshoot this insert. I was like, I'll be damned if someone drives 2 hours to my house to reshoot this. And
Reshoots are for the weak.
I was like, I never want to do a reshoot. I am over it. I'm moving on. Someone else can do it.
But Brandon, how was that therapy process on the first cut?
Um,
Because you shot Farewell in a way where there was no wiggle room.
no. I like to walk a tightrope. For me, I've had so many up until interrogation and now farewell. I had so many projects where I had that first cut anxiety,
Mm.
and going into this, I took a long hiatus between shooting films.
Mm.
It's about 5 years.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was that long.
There was a small one for the 48-hour film festival. That's the only one I shot for a 5-year period.
Is that mad?
Mm.
No, that was Thomas.
Oh,
Thomas directed that. It was the other one,
Push.
Push.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
That is so long ago.
Yeah. So going into this, I guess, new era of I kind of went in, all right, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to live with it. I picked this rock that I'm chiseling from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, if as soon as I feel regret, because I've had projects where I stopped making them
Yeah.
because of that, like first cut anxiety.
Mhm.
Perfect Day. Stop.
Wait, this timeline is off. Because interrogation happens in between Push and
It was
Farewell.
yeah.
no, I know, but I'm talking 5 year from interrogation's part of this start. That's what I
Okay,
said.
word.
Yeah. So like, because Perfect Day would be 2018. Farewell is 2023. That's 5 years.
Yeah.
I know.
Or-
Interrogation is 2023.
Okay.
End of 2023.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were leaving her out.
Oh, Perfect Day?
No. I thought interrogation was out of the loop.
No. That starts the loop.
Okay.
Yeah. But between interrogation and Perfect Day,
Mm-hmm.
Push, and that was like a day shoot.
Yep.
and a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so for me with Farewell, I knew what it was gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a matter of, did I get the performances right?
Mm.
Because the way Dean was in the pre-production for the shot list, it was pretty much, it's a play.
Yep.
We're shooting this like a play. It's like I was shooting something for Mr. Arcardin, the Orson Welles film, Mr. Arcadian, Arcardin, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
How French you are
The
at the moment.
confidential report. That's the other name for it. It was pretty much wide shot, all the action plays here, and we cut when we got to cut. We cut in when we need to, and we stay wide everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Let the blocking do it. So for me, there was no anxiety. It was just a matter of, okay, now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dial in the main part of post production that really ties everything together. Because the last scene of Farewell, it's a lot of sound, and that's where the anxiety is really right now. Can we dial that in to where the reveal sonically translates to, okay, I get why.
It hits the emotional resonance
Yeah,
for the audience.
Because as it's shot, it just looks like a wife killing a husband, right?
You kind of need the end,
It's what we don't see, but what you hear, that's the important. And that's where I'm at. So for me, my anxiety won't come in until, the sound design's done. As soon as we get the sound right, the anxiety goes. But that's the only anxiety I have. I've stopped having first cut anxiety.
Do you think not editing your own work, do you think that
For
helps?
sure, because I've taken a step back from writing. I don't write anymore.
Mhm.
I give my notes. I might write, interrogation. I just wrote a small little epilogue closing scene.
Mhm.
I try to separate myself from it so I don't get emotionally attached come editing, because that's the problem. When you write, when you direct, when you edit, you live and die by everything you do. You don't give yourself that clarity, wiggle room. I mean, you can. You just got to take a lot of time away from it to divorce yourself from the feelings you had when you wrote and shot it. Like I can go back now and look at Perfect Day, cringe at it, but I can look at those scenes and be like, okay, boom, 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 and this is what I would have shot differently. But yeah, like Farewell is my apology tour for Perfect Day.
I see.
Yeah.
Liz, you edit your own film, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's helpful on that first cut just because you kind of see it all come together, or do you
Yeah.
think it's more of a weight because it's like you see all the building blocks come together and it's more of a like holistic view instead of, well, here's the cut and okay, well, at least I just need to see the cut and I can make my notes on it, right?
Repeat that, but maybe that
Okay,
shorter.
I'll repeat that in a more
Yeah.
coherent way. So
Like, simplify it, buddy.
I'll simplify. I'll break it down. So, since you were cutting your own film,
Yeah.
do you think that's helpful for you in terms of maybe playing off those first cut jitters, because you see all the building blocks, or
Yeah.
do you think it intensifies it because you see how the sausage is made?
No, it's I definitely really liked it. Um
We're in a
I
standoff.
know. No, I liked it because it helped me like understand the process of like, all right, this is where all my decisions on set led to. Now I know how to make decisions differently.
Mhm.
Um I did like that part. Like I did have anxiety. I was like, this is like my first like kind of storytelling piece that I'm editing. I used to just do like educational editing, so it was very like straightforward. Like 8 hours of footage done in a day. It's like
Mhm.
it's fine. But this was like storytelling, and I was starting to like have like a little bit of panic of like, is this gonna work out?
Start feeling anxiety of like, what do you
Yeah.
do, right?
Like
Yeah.
I started running into like, am I cutting on emotion? Am I cutting on continuity between like actors like movements and things like that? What do I want to prioritize? So it all helped me just kind of figure out how to do my next film better. So that was really nice.
Mhm.
I did like it. Like I think Brandon looked at like my premiere file. He's like, "What did you do?" Like, I don't know what this looks like. He's like, "Maybe Thomas can figure it out." But it was like, yeah, like I just started setting up uh my sequences. Like
Mhm.
I went sequence by sequence and
Mhm.
like adding all the clips, and like the video was at the end of the sequence. So each sequence got more and more and more and more, and it made sense to me
Mhm.
to do it that way. But yeah, in terms of like building blocks, that was really nice.
I see. Dylan, is it a good or bad thing to edit your own film?
I think that's solely dependent on like whoever. For me, I prefer not to.
Mm.
I think certain things that like I can cut, like the last goodbye I cut, and then for There's Evil Here, I was like, nah, this needs to go to somebody who like can cut like better than me. So I had you edit it, and then like you were open to it. So
I
like,
can't cut better than you.
but like,
I just cut quickly.
but I was like, I just think that people who are like, I think it depends on like what you have and what you want, and uh if you think that you can cut it and better than anybody else can, then commit to it. Because for sure, at the end of it, nobody's going to cut it better than how you want that film.
Mm.
But, like, yeah, for me, I prefer to just kind of like have it, toss it off. And then, like, when I give it to somebody else, that does open up like a period where I can kind of like decompress. And then, like, my brain starts itching. And then I kind of start thinking about like, okay, what's the next project? And I can start moving on to like the next thing that I want to do. And even if I'm just chewing on an idea, like I can chew on it, chew on it, chew on it. And then eventually like the editor come in, I have my breakdown, I send in my notes, and then I don't know, I can actively see the mistakes that went wrong while like the new idea is forming. So like I can start to like, I don't know, it kind of helps me build a little bit better when other people cut. It helps my process.
I
Mm.
like that. I felt like in like editing Midge and Nancy, I was getting over it real quick. Not real quick, but once I got to like audio and color, I was like, I am burnt out, done, and I would like to move on
Yeah.
and like write something else. But I was like, I need to like muscle through this. But like in the beginning, I was like, I don't want anyone touching this. Like I want to look at it. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to put it together.
It's mine.
Yes.
It's my chicken pot pie.
I'm a little controlling like that, but like color, audio, send that to someone else.
Yep. Yeah, that was Ragdoll for me. I'm very controlling in the editing phase. I like cutting stuff. I like the color part of it.
Hmm.
But oh my God, sound. When I started doing the sound for it, I'm like, okay, cool. So this is the moment where I am like, I fucking hate movies.
Yeah.
Like just it's a thing where I don't think people understand of how much time you can spend doing the sound on your own
Oh
film.
yeah.
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 You can spend 5, 10 times the amount of time doing the picture lock
Mhm.
just doing sound work. all the little details, all the Foley, all the just broad design. Everyone's like, you just put an ambient like music track underneath and that'll carry it over. And it's like, no, that will not be enough. There's so much just meticulous bullshit.
I hate audio so much. I've always hated it. Even when I did it as a job, I'm like, I am not suited
Listen,
for this.
that's why in this era for me, I'm finding the person that fits my style, and then for me it's easier. I'll give notes. This scene,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to cut a few beats earlier. It's easier to do that. I get a bird's eye view
Mm-hmm.
when I don't have to be in the trenches cutting it. You know, when you're in the trenches cutting it, you kind of get a tunnel vision for this scene, this scene, this scene.
Yeah.
You don't really have the ability to pull back unless you take a big break.
Mm.
But we want to put these out, so you can't. It doesn't give you the luxury to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
It's the issue with like short films, because short films, their whole concept is like the efficiency, right?
Yeah.
The efficiency of the storytelling, the efficiency of the shooting, and things like that. That's why people like doing short films. You can do them on a smaller budget. You can shoot them in a much smaller time frame.
And
You can
put it out quicker.
You can put them out quicker, but that's also the problem of time is so valuable, and when you're crunched for it, you wish you had like you wish you had far more time than you actually budgeted out for post-production.
Sorry, that made me think of, I think the first time I was like, how long should I take to edit this? And I was like, 2 weeks? And Dylan was like, absolutely not. He was like, don't you do that ever.
Yeah, because what did Midge and Nancy's runtime come out to? 22?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Yeah, just 2-week turnaround, 25 minutes, just beginning to end, sound, color.
I was like, I got this.
5 consecutive no all-nighters, no sleep.
Just give yourself as much time as possible. Because, like, Brandon and I have tried, like...
Oh, boy. We've had many face plants.
We created a editing system where we would cut together, but we'd go to the bar first.
There were probably some issues with the order of these things.
No, it's just, you know, sometimes you want it, you have the urge, especially when you're just starting out. Like, you want the urge, we're gonna pump these out. I'll be a finely tuned machine. I have you overestimate how exhausting it is mentally. And when the mental start wearing out, then physically editing just becomes a drag.
Yeah.
So
I like what you were saying, like if you're editing it to take that space, because I ended up doing that.
Yeah.
But I felt like shit for it because I thought like I'm a bad filmmaker. Like I'm not working on this every day. Like I had like 2 weeks where like I just wasn't like looking at it.
Yeah.
But hearing that, I was like, oh, okay. It worked out.
It's something you have to learn. Like me and Dyllan have learned that, right? From all of us, I think me and Dyllan have done the most work, I think, whether released or not.
Yeah.
I will put that caveat. But like it took us a while to learn that. And you know, for you've kind of seen me and Dyllan fuck up so many times, right? So you kind of had to.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah,
you were there.
He was there for every one of our fuck ups.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not aware, but okay.
But you know, from kids.
Yeah.
And then the following, projects we did between that. The one production for at Bellflower. You were there.
Oh,
bar?
yeah.
The bar.
The bar.
Or the Billards.
What was the fuck up there?
Well, the fuck up there was we
well, you
definitely underestimated the audio in recording that, because that
like,
whole film needs to get redone.
Vignettes.
The vignettes.
The
vignettes, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of through osmosis, whether you realized it or not, you saw things that you in your head you're like, I'm not gonna do that, whether you realized it or not. And then now you're in the driver's seat, you kind of get to see. You feel you finally get to feel the road. You're in control of the car.
Yeah.
And things that you thought you would be able to do from the passenger seat, you realize, oh wait, no.
Yeah.
You know, like when we shot the living room scene for Midge and Nancy. Originally you had something else in mind.
Yeah. I don't even remember.
I think the mirror kind of stopped us from doing certain shots.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's something you don't realize until you start doing it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you going forward, you're going to make sure there's no mirror
Yeah.
when you want to do a tracking shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
actually, on that, now that the film's like wrapped and everything like that, is there stuff you're gonna take away from these productions and like for the next one, the learning experience?
Hard yes.
Hard yes. Is it the mirrors? No more mirrors?
Well, not just the mirrors. One, like my average was like 3 or 4 takes. I think I'll shoot for like 5 or 6. Like
Mhm.
I think Brandon, you told me like don't be afraid to like sit with it.
yeah,
And I was
or when I tell you, sure.
yeah, and I was like hearing, I was like, why are you questioning me? Like I know. And then like afterwards, I was like, oh, that's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with you on that, I didn't want to tell you got to do this.
Yeah.
It was, if me and Dylan were to tell you, hey, you should do this, this, and this on your first scene, your first set, you wouldn't.
It doesn't help learning
You
when you're
wouldn't learn it.
instructing,
You
right?
wouldn't learn the reason why, right?
Yeah.
Lessons only hit when you understand why. I can tell you the answer to the quiz, but if you don't know how I got to the answer,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you don't
So,
get anything from
That's
it.
why I was like, huh? Hey, you sure? And you're like, who
like,
are you?
I was like, what am I missing? I don't know. I don't see what's happening. But yeah, more takes. I'm definitely the type of director that wants to leave the day early,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I think I was leaving early all 3 or 4 days.
Most of them, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. And not being afraid to try something different or like let the actors like try something. I had some others that I forgot.
Oh, they'll come up as
Yeah.
we talk.
Yeah.
Me and Dylan will say something that might spark it.
Yeah.
Dylan, biggest takeaway?
That I'm going into the next projects.
Yeah. Or, biggest takeaway for like Chinese, we're gonna order after this. I'm curious.
Depends on the restaurant, but for I think the biggest thing is just making sure that like I have enough time pressure, I have enough money that fits, and the biggest thing is like that I really 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 want to do is that I want to challenge myself. So the next project that I do and that I'm like formulating, I want it to look and feel completely different, and um I want to do things that like I have not done before, or like I want to be more uncomfortable. I notice whenever I'm more uncomfortable, that it's usually when like I think I get like a better product. When I did the music video for Forrest Whitaker, Lucas, light years ahead of me, fucking was like, we're gonna get a like a big ass crane. And I was like, excuse me.
And the wall flats too. I thought that I was like, where am I supposed to get these? And then like something else they were talking about, like, oh, go to this like prop house or whatever. You get it for free. And I looked at it, I was like, they are booked solid for 3 months. Like, what are you talking about? And then the cost of bringing that stuff back, I was like,
Yeah,
No one ever factors in the U-Haul you have to rent to move all this
Yeah.
stuff.
with luckily like we had like the big ass truck and shit, so like that helped. But like that fucking him being like, oh, it was a jib. He said him being like, jib, we're gonna do a jib, and then like it went from being like, a smaller one to being like, $400 to rent, and then like I was getting like super nervous because I was like, oh fuck, bro, like I don't know how this is gonna look, and we're talking about like bringing like more and more people because we wanted the mosh pit, and like I think as far as like production design, like you killed that shit.
thank you.
Like I don't know, it was that entire thing was just like a big like creative push for me, and I think I want that where like I I look at projects and I'm like, this scares me a little bit. Now it's game time. I really like that. I really like that. I want to push the boundaries a little bit more with the story, spend a little bit more time with the actors, and I want us to work towards something that challenges all of us, and I think that is going to be what gets the best projects out of me, cuz that whenever I push myself, that is when I notice I get the best products. For The Last Goodbye and There Is Evil Here, I'm not saying they didn't push me, but they are more in my comfort zone. But I wanted two things that were more in my comfort zone because I hadn't directed in a year. So it made sense. And now I'm ready for like I want the boogeyman's head now.
Mhm.
He wants to take his ass.
Oh no.
shit.
Hell no.
Baby oil. Diddy Dillon.
Negative.
But Brandon, biggest takeaway from Farewell?
Um, for me, the biggest takeaway is I practiced it a little more on this one than Interrogation, like using all of the time I have.
Mhm.
Right, this time I took my time. I didn't press to get out, until Shane was like, "Hey, we got Jose for 30 minutes more."
Mhm.
I was like, all right. But that's something I want to do on the next shoot. Kind of, I know it's nice to leave early,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of use the time,
Mhm.
right? It's there. We scheduled it. Actors are getting paid nonetheless. Whether we end early or we end on time, they're getting paid the same.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I'm taking away. The next thing is, I definitely want to get a lot more creative with lighting and sets the next project.
Mm.
And that's the main thing. Like, lighting wise, Interrogation was more creative lighting wise. Set wise, this one's a little different because we had to dress it a lot more.
Mhm.
Farewell. And so I'd like the next one needs to combine everything.
Mhm.
And so that's the idea. The next one will be a lot more a summation of things I've been toying with.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Plus I want to add in the factor of cars.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's gonna be really much really a big thing. But the next one is definitely gonna be like, we take these lessons and now we're applying them on a bigger scale with a little twist.
Mhm.
So that's the challenge.
Yeah.
I see. I'm in the same boat as you as I want more time, but I think I'm almost going in reverse as I'm looking to do like my next film I want to do is like probably half the length of Ragdoll.
Mm-hmm.
But with that I want to do what you're saying, Liz, is just um ending early is nice, but like man, I really wish I just had like 5, 6 takes of everything,
Mhm.
really like sat in on everything and just you know 3 or 4 takes is really nice when you're Clint Eastwood and you're working with the best actors around. But you know what? I'm not Clint Eastwood. I need like 5 or 6. I want to play with the actors a little bit more. Use all that
Yeah.
time we budget out in pre-production and use it on set to try and get the most out of what's on screen.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest takeaway for the next one.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I liked what you said, Brandon, about like creative like lighting and things like that.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do more creative lighting, more creative shots,
More stylistic stuff.
stylistic stuff, more moving shots. I know like Gilmore Girls was my big inspo for this film. And I started like watching like all the camera work and I was like, holy shit, like there's some really choreographed like camera work going on. And then especially like you look at the later work like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
Yes.
That one had
Yes,
some
you got it. You got it.
Yeah, there you go. It had some really incredible like camera movements and I was like, I want to try that. But yeah.
I think it was I was gonna say Alex was frustrated as shit because on There Is Evil Here because he thought we were gonna get out early, and me and Ben kept telling him like, bro, we're gonna use like as much time as possible to get all this shit done because it's just kind of like
Well, There's Evil Here was crunch time for a lot of it.
yeah, but also just kind of like the pressure of like Ben also doing like Yaffer's work as well, like like that shit fucking like I think that like put like it extended a lot of time so I would help him wherever I could, but like whenever we did get everybody in, it was just kind of like let's get exactly what we want because there's no there is no concrete like certainty that everybody like we're gonna be able to get like all this shit all these pieces again, so like yeah, we made sure that like just like fill it out. We're gonna use every inch of the time, and then like it just worked out like it should have.
But with all these takeaways, the film's done. Do you guys already know what your next film's going to be? I know, Dylan, you were saying that you wanted to challenge yourself with your next film. Do you already have an idea of what that's going to be?
Yeah, I've been working on it. It's getting closer. I've been trying to write it for like the last couple of days, but I've just been getting caught up doing edits. But the outline's done. So yeah, I'm gonna get cooking on it. And then it's gonna be a horror film, but ideally, 20, 25, and a little bit more money behind it. And I'm yeah, yeah, this is as much as I'll say right now. I'm hoping possibly to shoot it either December or January. That's kind of the timeline that I would love.
Liz, do you have your next one already set up?
I had like 3 seasons of Midge and Nancy kind of like worked out in my head, just like the big movements, but now I'm just kind of like I think I'm wanting to like move on. Something else that I've been considering is something like coffee and cigarettes.
Mhm.
Just something, yeah, like something like
Everybody gets their claps in.
a bunch of like little like scenarios, but instead of like coffee and cigarettes, it's like wild nights. We had a lit lunch in the morning after.
Nice.
So it's like whether it's like the same characters or different characters, I just want something a little bit more loose,
Mhm.
but still have the silliness and still have like a little bit of like a theme running through it.
I see. Almost like a comedy anthology situation.
A little
Okay.
bit. But I do have this like feature script in like the annals of my hard drive where it's like it started in like 20, it was Kids of the Black Hole was like the inception of it. Like afterwards we went to, was at the grocery store and Girl Scouts were up front and it just started like a snowball effect. And so
Tiffany actually has told me about this one.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still fucking stoked. I still have like the main plot in my head. I don't have everything written down, but I still remember like every detail. So that'll be my like uncomfortable big girl project, basically. Yeah.
Brandon, got the next one lined up?
Um,
Are you gonna roam through my old scripts? See
no,
what's
no,
looking
no.
for?
The next one is a big one. It's gonna swing for the fences. It'll probably be a feature.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you, Dylan. Um, but as far as like what it is, I'm still soaking in it. Unless something, you know, another script pops up. I'm trying to. I want to direct things that I don't write.
Mhm.
So if there's a short script that someone's like, "Hey, I have this,"
Mhm.
and I like fall for it, I might shoot it.
Mhm.
But for now, the intent is to shoot a feature. Um, so that's the move. But like if there's a short where I want to try something out in that short that I want to apply to the feature, I'm always willing to pivot to that.
Mhm.
Because you sometimes you might learn a new trick on the way, and you're like, hey, let me go ahead and try this real quick. So, and a short's a nice thing to practice those concepts in.
It's the beauty of making short films is they give you a opportunity
There's no
to
beauty,
practice.
Dean. There's stress.
Oh, there's nothing
pain,
but stress.
broken budgets,
I have a question.
the two B's.
I noticed you guys all do a lot of like drama or horror or
Mhm.
like thriller things. Are any of you gonna venture into comedy?
I'm not
Yeah.
funny enough. Are you kidding me?
I have a concept for a comedy that I
Yeah.
want to do. But I think I need to like work on it a little bit more. It would be kind of like Lars and the Real Girl.
Okay.
It would be like that. That's kind of like the vibe right now. But like I've been sitting on it for years, and I love like yeah, no, it would be kind of like that.
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
me, it'd have to be like a rom-com.
Yeah.
Like it'd be in the line of like Meet the Fockers,
Mhm.
the like 51st Dates,
Mhm.
Fever Pitch,
Okay.
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Nice.
It'd have to be like, it'd be in that vein. I'm always again, I don't write anymore. So
Mhm.
if it was like a rom-com script,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not against it. It's just like I have to connect with it when I read it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it'd be fun to do that.
Nice.
I think I also have like there's another one that I wrote that was intentionally like meant to be like a comedy that was just like extremely vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'll share it with you guys. It definitely needs like work, but like it's pretty much like two people who kind of like they have a one night stand and then they like separate, and then when they separate, they end up talking about like their experiences with another person.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
Interesting.
Nice. Well, we are almost out of here, but before we do that, we have one fun question. One fun question for the future. Okay, tomorrow, a studio, they see your short film, they fall in love with you. Netflix, HBO Max, Warner Brothers, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we want to give you a blank check to film whatever movie you want to make. What is the one dream project, given the keys to the castle, that you would want to make? You can do like a remake of something, you can do some your own original material, you can do an adaptation, but blank check, you get to make whatever you want. Liz, do you have anything in the back pocket you've been
Okay.
waiting to make?
It is the feature script that like I mentioned earlier. That's my dream one. But if it's like any kind of like IP property, I want Adam's Family so fucking bad. I
Addams
have
Family.
like I have stories thought out and everything, and I'm just like,
I will
want it.
do it right.
I
She
want it.
said.
Yes, I want it. I would actually bring Tiffany on to have this like voodoo Haitian
Oh my goodness.
element to it. Like they've got new neighbors and things like that. So I would love that.
for me, nothing off top. I think there's definitely ideas that like I like play with on and off again. But I don't think I have like a set dream project. I would still, if somebody said that to me, I'd obviously bullshit it.
You're like, just sign the check, just put the check in the mail.
Yeah, I'd bullshit it to get the check for sure, and then move on, and then just keep making corrections to get it more to what I want. But
You
like,
would just make a Denzel movie right after, just so you could say you work with Denzel.
to work with Denzel would be lovely. But yeah, man. I don't really know. I think like if I was gonna do like a remake, I have a list of remakes that I would do. The Brain That Wouldn't Die. It's a B movie, sci-fi horror flick. I saw it on like Elvira's
Mm-hmm.
movie Macabre,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember just falling in love with it. Just it's so like it's definitely a B movie for sure, but like I was like I would fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
Um A Nightmare on Elm Street, it's crazy, but I would actually love to like take a stab at that. I think as I develop in the future, I think that would be kind of like super appropriate. Other than that, like maybe like a zombie movie. I would love like a really really nice like zombie film, a werewolf film specifically shot on 16 millimeter. Um yeah, no, that's about as like it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't have a whole lot, but here's my list. I have like 5 or 6 remakes I'm thinking of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Brandon, you're given the keys to the kingdom. What's your one?
It have it's 1A, 1B, all right?
Of course,
So
of course.
1A,
Your personal, your studio, what
yeah,
you feeling?
whatever, 1A, the studio's like, here you go. I'd like to do a samurai film.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
we don't have the track record for American samurai film, American made samurai films. You get The Last Samurai,
Yeah.
and then you get 47 Samurai with Keanu Reeves, which is more CG and Hong Kong heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do it more straightforward,
Mm-hmm.
Like a true classical samurai film.
yeah, wide, horizon shots, everything naturally lit, shot in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
preferably no CG, gritty ass, sword fight.
Mm.
So that be, and then 1B if they're like, nah, you can't go to Japan. A western. I like to do a western.
Just get Clint Eastwood for one last go in the boots.
No, he ain't going to make it on that horse, buddy. That horse, as soon as that horse gallops, he's turning into dust.
Man's 104 and be like, I'll play your sheriff just one last time.
But yeah, that would be, the dream. if they're like, here's your playground, here's the check, you know, do it all practical. So I'd like to do that. That's the dream project.
I mean, I would love to make a Western. That would be that's really high up there on the movies. If I had the blank check, I'd make a Western, but yeah.
One's a Japanese Western, essentially, the samurai
Yeah.
film, and then one's an American, you know.
You know how they say, like, every movie's just a Western.
It's just one side, they're two different sides of the same coin, essentially. That's why, you know, if I had to pivot to a Western, it wouldn't be bad, because the same concepts I have in my head apply. So even shot-wise composition, it'd be
like 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I can see. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of our first Felix on Mars Directors Roundtable. Any last things you guys want to say before we get out of here? We can all sit in abject silence. That's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Boo.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Check out all of the social medias we have for Felix on Mars Film Collective, and check out the films of these wonderful filmmakers on our YouTube channel. Dyllan has to say one thing before we get out of here.
Shout out to all the cast and crews that we've had a chance to work with, and have been extremely patient with us on all these like projects. You mean the world to us, and yeah, you are the best. You have contributed to our dreams, and we do hope in the future that we can help you with yours. So, and if there are any other filmmakers out there who definitely want an opportunity to, like, they have their film but they don't know where to start, like, bring it to us. Like, we'll help you get that shit made.
Fuck yeah.
And with that, everybody, have a good day.